I seriously think that every real estate agent should be creating this social media post. I cannot believe the response that I got from this. Hey, it's Marissa. Today I am sharing my recent social media post that blew up on Instagram. I'm going to tell you about all the analytics from the ad that I ran and then exactly how to create the post yourself. I had seen this post on another agent's Instagram. Actually, it was boosted as well, and so I saw it as a sponsored post and I just loved it. I will link the original because I'm just obsessed with it. This is just an incredible idea, and so I don't know if she came up with it, but I'm giving her credit. So I basically just recreated the post for Appleton and I decided to boost it and run an ad in hopes that I would get some new local followers, which I absolutely did. So we're gonna start off with the overall insights, and just for reference, I have about 1,200 followers on Instagram, and so this is based upon that, just FYI. I had 80 likes on the post, 4 comments, 17 shares, and get this, 46 saves. I was really excited about that. It had 4,100 views, 307 post interactions, and 147 profile activity. It reached 2,674 accounts and there were 147 interactions. It breaks down profile activity. So my total profile activity was 307, which was calculated by totaling up profile visits, follows, external link taps, business address taps. So I had 234 profile visits just from this post, 66 followers, and 7 external link taps. So let's hop into the ad analytics. I definitely got a lot of engagement from my current audience, but I saw a really big increase in followers and engagement from people that I have never met before and don't have a relationship with. So I'm super excited that local people were able to find my account with this post. So for the ad, I broke it down and I spent $3 a day for 7 days. So a total of $21 on this ad, which I feel like was such a good return on investment. So I got 2,400 views on the ad. My goal was profile visits, which I got 213 profile visits from this ad. I got 31 likes and reactions from the people who came to the post from the ad. So keeping that in mind, I had about 50 then that were already my current audience. So this post, unboosted, will do really well with your audience too. I had 16 people from my current audience save the post for later, and I had 30 saves from the ad. So that was wild. I had 17 total shares on this post. So 10 of those shares came from my current audience, and then 7 shares came from the ad. And that just means that people were sending my post to their friends. Out of my 213 profile visits, I got 66 follows and 3 people clicked on my link. So I have a link tree in my bio. It leads out to different forms and resources that people can access to work with me. So I like offering that, like kind of some freebies and some resources in your bio so that people have one more step they can go to if they really are considering working with you. Out of my 213 profile visits, since I only spent $20.77 on this ad, it was about 10 cents per visit. So that's how much I paid per visit. 10 cents. When I set this ad up, I also tweaked the audience. So I wanted to make sure that it only reached people in the Fox Valley. I wasn't necessarily trying to reach people in other states by this. So I really made my ad specific to Appleton and surrounding cities. Okay, last thing for analytics, and then we are gonna hop into exactly how I created this post and how you can do it too. So for demographics, 13.2% of the people who saw my ad were men and 84.6% were women. My typical audience on my Instagram is like 80 to 87% women. So I found this kind of interesting that it kept right in line with that. The age range also was pretty in line with what I usually experience. 5% of the ad's audience was 18 to 24-year-olds. 37% was 25 to 34-year-olds, which is like my target audience. 32% was 35 to 44-year-olds, which was also like pretty close to my target audience. And then 14% of the audience was ages 45 to 54. 8% of the audience was ages 55 to 64, and then 3% of the audience was 65 or older. And then it reached 98% of my audience was all located in Wisconsin, which, chef's kiss, that is exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so I made this post right in Canva. So I went into Canva and I set up an Instagram carousel, and then the first page of it says, if you only have 24 hours in Appleton, Wisconsin, here's what you should do. And then towards the bottom, I put from a local, and then I put my Instagram handle. I think it's really important that you add this from a local because it is establishing you as an individual person and not a business necessarily. It's also gonna establish you as the local expert, which of course we want to be as real estate agents. So the next few slides can of course be customized however you would like. I just started with breakfast, and then I went to activities, dinner, entertainment, and then I had a closing statement. So I just thought about the order of a day and what somebody would want to be doing in the area if they really only had 24 hours here. So I was like, of course we have to start with breakfast or brunch. And then I listed out some of my favorite places in the area. Now, when I went to post this, I tagged every single business who was on social media in this post, and I got a couple shares from them too, so I got even more exposure. Keep in mind to tag everybody before you post this and boost the post, because you cannot edit a boosted post. So I learned the hard way because I didn't know like 2 or 3 of the businesses handles, and so I was like, I'll just go back and do that later. And then I found out you can't edit a boosted post. So you need to make sure that you're following or you have them written down somewhere. All of these businesses that you're gonna tag, you need to do it while you're posting. And then my last slide was closing remarks. I did moving to or within the Fox cities, and then I introduced myself at the end. So you gotta make sure you introduce yourself at the end. If you introduce yourself too early, people don't really have a reason to trust you or listen to your advice right off the bat. You have to prove your value up front and then come back around and introduce yourself. So this says, hi, I'm Marissa. I've lived in the area my whole life and I'm excited to share all the great things the Fox cities have to offer. DM me if I can help you or a friend with more local recs or a move. And then I have my Instagram handle on there as well. I made sure to include plenty of pictures of myself as well. So in the beginning pictures, I'm actually realizing I don't have any pictures of myself. It is more just about the experiences and the places that people can go to and the things that they can do. In this girl's original post, it was just kind of like a scenery type of thing, and there weren't any faces in it, which I actually kind of liked. I did darken up my pictures a little bit, so I just took the transparency down and I put a darker color in the background. I think I did like a dark brown, just to make sure that the white text would pop on top. You have to make sure, since there's a lot of text on this type of post, that it's legible and that people are going to be easily able to read this post. Because if you make it way too hard to read this post, people are not going to read it. So after I created the post and I put in all my personalized photos, I saved it. I usually just send the files to myself over email and then download them to my phone. And then I popped into Instagram. Be sure to add the location when you are posting your post. So I made sure to put Appleton, Wisconsin for my location. I think I might have done a couple hashtags. I can't speak for like Facebook and other things like that because I just ran this on Instagram. But when you're posting your Instagram post, you are going to scroll to the bottom, and it might be under like additional settings or something. I'll show it on the screen, but you're gonna go to boost your post, and then it will have you set up your boosting settings and your promotional settings after you've posted it. So just keep that in mind. It's gonna have you set up your audience, your budget, everything like that after you've posted it. This was by far the most views that I have ever gotten on a static photo post, and it got so much good engagement, and I just couldn't believe every time I got a new follower, I would click on them, and if they had their public facing account and we looked like we would jive together and it said maybe something about Wisconsin in their bio, I would follow them back. So I'm trying to build a relationship with these people, not necessarily just rack up my followers. I was trying to attract people who were actually from the area who might be potential clients. And maybe they just had a hard time finding my account before. We all know how the algorithm can get. And so I feel like this boosted post was just the key. I am recommending it to every single real estate agent now, that this is the framework. You need to try it. I think you're gonna get a really great response. If you do try it, please let me know how it goes. I would love to hear. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.